And breaking right now, Prince Harry is in New York without Meghan Markle, but it seems like the woke mind virus has got into his head. Lots of bizarre stuff going on, including PR.
Hey everyone, it's your go-to for all things royal drama. Today, we've got a jaw-dropping update that's shaking Hollywood and the royal world to its core. Meghan Markle, yes, the Meghan Markle, is reportedly screaming at night after a Hollywood expose revealed shocking details about her behind-the-scenes behavior.
From People magazine, reported by the Daily Mail, that Prince Harry FaceTimed Meghan Markle, Prince Archie and Princess Lilibet before taking to the stage with Diana Award winners in New York. Angela Levin, our royal mastermind, Prince Harry's biographer, here to talk through all of this. Angela, first up, I wanted to talk specifically about that leak to People magazine, because a lot of folk are saying, oh, there's some issues with Harry and Meghan because she didn't show up to the Kevin Costner event over the weekend. There's been all of the negative press surrounding the Hollywood Reporter expose. So it seems like a very odd leak, doesn't it, to People magazine saying, oh, but don't worry, Harry might be in New York alone, but he's still calling Meghan. So are we really meant to believe that everything's hunky-dory, totally fine?
No, it's a repeat, actually, very similar to when when Harry wanted to sort of come back to London, and he wanted a home and he wanted to make friends with his family, and that's what he really needed so badly. And then up it came. Harry is incredibly happy where he is. He's got loads of new friends and he loves being with his children and everything. He couldn't be happier, and he doesn't want to do anything for the royal family that involves work. So this was a sort of absolute opposite of what he gave the inclination that that's what he wanted. And now they're doing it again. And as it's People, they're, I think, still used by Meghan and Harry, friends, to say what they'd like to think and make it all positive and everything's honky-dory. But Harry said something that she wasn't feeling well and was screaming in the night. So you have to think, was that pain or was that telling him off because people have criticised her beyond what she ever thought would ever happen? We'll get on to that in a minute, won't we? But I mean, it's just calling her all sorts of nasty things.
Screaming in the night, it's odd, isn't it?
I think that's why I've always thought that she would never do anything political wherever she is, because, you know, they have to have skins of as thick as you can imagine. And she's so sensitive to anyone saying anything critical about her that she couldn't manage it. I mean, you need a politician who can brush those things away, but she can't. I mean, I think she finds it dreadful, and she can't understand it because she thinks she's the global most wonderful woman, and she just can't take it that people don't actually agree with her.
Is this the biggest PR crisis the Sussexes have faced? And what does this mean for Prince Harry? Let's break it all down. Dramatic music plays, clips of Meghan and Harry flash on screen. You won't believe this latest twist in the Meghan Markle saga. Reports are flying in that Meghan is screaming at night after a Hollywood bombshell exposed her true behavior behind the scenes.
No, indeed. And this is arguably the worst period of her career, and she's had some pretty bad ones. What is odd, though, Angela, is that Harry has gone to New York, but he used to be, I mean, you knew him, you spent all of this time with him. He used to be a plain-speaking, ordinary guy. And I want you to analyze a few of his comments, but it feels like he's been injected by Meghan's woke mumbo jumbo. It's like he's got the woke mind virus running through him. People keep describing what he's saying as a word salad, where he actually says a lot, but doesn't actually mean anything. Angela, make it make sense. What the hell is he even talking about? I mean, it's just mumbo jumbo.
What I'm thinking is that he has been so crushed by Meghan. He's learnt he has to do what he's told, to stand where she wants him, and to let her speak rather than him. And he's come away without her, and he's lost. He doesn't know how to manage. when he was with me, he spoke naturally very, very well, and he could be extremely funny, and it was all off his brain straight away. But this is that you can see he's really, really nervous and hasn't done his research. I mean, you forget how much effort you have to put into speeches. You can't just go in there and talk unless you're extraordinarily clever. And most people know that, but it doesn't sound like it when it happens. But I just think he's in a muddle before he starts. So he keeps adding words to the sentences, and he's not actually saying anything at all. I mean, I think when you see that, you realize how damaged he is now.
Yes.
It's quite upsetting to see.
Could this be the beginning of the end of Meghan's Hollywood dream? And what about Harry? Is he trapped? Let's dive into the details because this story is getting wild. But before we get started, if you love keeping up with the latest royal drama, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Let's get into it. The bombshell report. So, what exactly happened?
Frankly.
Yeah, actually, I really felt that, Angela, watching this next little part, because I think you're completely right. He's under-researched, underdone, but it's also almost like he doesn't want to be there. Watch this. I mean, such muted applause because his heart wasn't in it. His heart wasn't in it.
It's absolutely fascinating because if you take what he's saying over to himself, you see how upset he is and how he needs hope for the future and how he has to be very, very brave to do it. And what's very interesting is that when he talked to military people who had been damaged emotionally, and he would actually work out how he could talk to them so that they were all right. And the first question I asked him when I went to see him at the palace was that, did he use his work to help him handle his own mental problems? And if you think that was 2017, so a lot has happened since then, but I had the courage to ask that. I thought we'd either have an excellent conversation or he'd throw me out. So I tried to get the excellent conversation. And he sort of said to me, "Oh, that's a question." And it was absolutely silent. It seemed like 10 hours, but I think it was about a minute. And he said to me, "You know, you're absolutely right. It helps me a lot. And I think this is identity. This identity is exactly what he's doing there. He's helping himself dramatically to try and get over this difficult time. It could be about his family, it could be about Meghan, it could be indeed about the world, but I think it's definitely asking people to help him, to give him ideas that will help him."
A recent Hollywood expose has sent shockwaves through the industry, revealing alleged behind-the-scenes tantrums, diva demands, and cold treatment of staff. Reports suggest that Meghan's reputation in Hollywood is tanking fast. Now, insiders are saying that she's been struggling to cope with the backlash. One source even claims she's been screaming at night due to stress. Could this be the biggest PR disaster of Meghan's career? Is Harry stuck?
Manage it. That too is very interesting. I always think it's very interesting that he calls, I think I'm quite old-fashioned on this, he calls women guys. I think it's a bit odd, but I know people do that. But we're not guys, we're girls. So that's just by the way.
It's interesting you speak about the mental health issue because actually on this trip, Angela, he has said that we should call it mental fitness, not mental health. And that annoys me because why does it matter what you call it?
No, it doesn't matter at all. And everybody thinks about it, about mental health. I mean, mental fitness doesn't work because, you know, it doesn't work at all. And I think that he just wanted to do something himself, name something, that at least he's done something. I think it's that desperation that he's so behind Meghan that any little thing he can think of, oh, we could call it this, will actually make him feel a little bit better. He's obviously incredibly unhappy.
Yeah, it gives him something, doesn't it?
Mm.
There was a speech at the anti-landmine event, the Hallow Trust. Now, this was obviously a big thing for Princess Diana. This speech was scripted, Angela, so he was more researched, he was more together. I don't know if he wrote it himself. But I had one issue with the speech, Angela. I want to play you just a little clip from it because he's talking again about the perils of colonization. And it's just such a difficult, slippery slope for a member of the British royal family to be going down that path. But let's have a watch and I'll get you to react off the bat.
Angola has brought a collaborative spirit and relentless determination to this endeavour. Demining on such a monumental scale is a challenge for any country, let alone one that has emerged from centuries of colonialism and decades of civil war. Yet Angola, facing a myriad of urgent challenges, remains steadfast in this mission.
You know, colonialism.
Now, let's talk about Prince Harry. Harry recently attended a high-profile event in New York, alone. No Meghan, no smiling photo ops, just Harry trying to prove everything is fine. But let's be real, does he even look happy? Many believe Harry has completely changed since marrying Meghan. Once a fun, confident prince, he now looks nervous, controlled, and out of his depth. At this point, we have to ask, is he staying out of love, fear, or something else entirely? Meghan's PR spin. If there's one thing Meghan is good at, it's controlling the narrative. Right after this Hollywood report dropped, PR-friendly outlets rushed to paint a different picture, saying that Meghan is focusing on her family and that Harry is happier than ever.
According to Prince Harry, there is a bad thing. Angela, now he's a member of the British royal family. This is just, he just has to be so careful because he doesn't know what he's opening up.
Yes, it's very difficult. He really mustn't take the role of anybody within the royal family because that can affect the monarchy. Maybe that's what he wants to do.
Maybe.
But he can't express what should be done on behalf of the royal family. And therefore, he has no power. And whatever he says doesn't have to happen. It's completely out of it, but it can damage. And I think that that together with the phony royal trips abroad, I think that the royal family has to do something about it. Never mind about lots of things, but you can't have someone who hasn't got the okay on talking like that.
Sound familiar? This is straight out of the Sussex PR playbook. Every time negative press comes out, there's a sudden damage control story right after. But here's the thing. If everything was truly fine, why do they keep telling us? Comment below. Do you think this is another PR stunt? The royal fallout. Let's not forget, the royal family is watching all of this unfold. King Charles and Prince William have stayed silent, but insiders say that Harry's behavior is damaging the monarchy. There are even rumors that the palace is preparing for the day Harry wants back in. But would they even take him back? That's the big question. At this point, the Sussexes are at a crossroads. Is their brand collapsing? So what's really going on behind the scenes? Is Meghan truly struggling to cope with criticism, or is this just another Hollywood PR stunt? And is Harry finally waking up to the reality of his situation? One thing's for sure, this story isn't over. If you want to stay updated on all the royal drama, hit that subscribe button right now and turn on notifications. You won't want to miss what happens next. Drop a comment below. Do you think Meghan and Harry's time in Hollywood is over? Let's discuss.